some kind of work. I want to work in Australia, something related work. We send them this one. So skill and work questionnaire. You have name, date of birth, age, nationality, and everything. So the link I'll be sending you to in a minute. And I ask them how many points they can obtain. Okay, so how many points they can obtain, and then we have a point system. I have point table, into the same Word document as well. You just need to give them assessment on this one. How many points? If you're not sure about that, you guys can do the assessment for them. Say how many points they can obtain. Are you being able to provide informed reference data? That's really important. If some of work they need, as a sole trader or under their own name or whatever, they can't obtain, and we have to have them answer this. Numbers, dependents, and age, health issues, police checks, or negative, such as visa refusal. And so this is really simple way of once I have that information, we have a more clear information about the client. Education background, we have to say specifically about the clients, what kind of subject they studied. Bachelor in engineering, that will be say bachelor in engineering. Diploma in care or diploma in hospitality, they need to say that. So whatever they qualification they obtained in the past, except for the high school, you don't need to mention that. Apart from the high school thing, a primary school thing, you don't need to mention that. They need to mention about diploma, certificate, and it has to be. We just need them to mention the qualification they obtained as kind of qualification. It cannot be the training course. It cannot be short 2 weeks course. This is not the qualification. What we say qualification, it's a certificate. You be award, Cert 3, Cert 4, diploma, associate degree, as degree masters. So they must indicate that. So this one, it's a skilled one. Okay, now I'll give you the example of my business one. Okay, so if the client say I have kind of some funding, I have business, whatever like this, we will give them a business investment client questionnaire. And you can see that here the questions are differently. It's about net worth. It's about how much you want to invest. It's about that English health exam as well. So, but the points here, it's quite different. So I think I got wrong point system. I'll make it. I make it. So the point system for business and investment, it's quite different. You might wish to give them clients a assessment on this one. Because you can't just throw documents to me, say, hey, Joanne, assess it. It's quite time consuming. It's in particular, lots of them not eligible. Now I have got another CISA. This is someone I think we did that training for you last time. We really talked about someone who has brilliant idea. They maybe have no qualification, not very good qualification. Maybe their business is not successful, but they kind of have some innovative idea and they've been doing that business. Make sure that at this stage, we don't want someone who's under over 45. This is minimum requirement. It's 45. 45 is really important. And almost employment, most visas, except for business visas, the age limit is 55. All other visas, we need to tell them about 45. If someone has been already 45, you just take an alarm, say, oh, this is going to be an issue. So you don't need to remember everything. Now I have a checklist and advice letter here and outline everything. So this is work visa for A2 requirement that they have a full-time job offer. Now per se, we are doing that work for him, right? Because we want to tax out the market, especially his occupation. It's demanding in South Australia. So we want, and he's a male. Okay, so therefore we want to try, but not everybody we can do this kind of service, right? Because it's a lot of effort. It's not worth it. I don't do a lot of this. Only some clients, really good client. So the requirement we have to, if they want to work visa, say you have to have a job offer. If you don't, we check that to see whether they have very good background. If they don't have a good background, for example, they only have a 3 years experience, they're not going to get job offer in Australia. You have to be better than Australian citizen. You have to have some work experience that they could not find in Australia. So they find you, right? So full-time job offer, minimum 3 years experience, and they will need able to obtain employment reference letters. from previous or current employment. And IELTS, we have to have IELTS 5 on each band. If they say, I never done that before, we just say, you need to get it now. Because we and that advice will then draft accordingly. Say, you can copy some of the wordings here, like this one. You can just copy whoever. If they are not eligible, we tell them the same thing in here. And if they not eligible, say IELTS 5, I haven't got IELTS 5, then you just say, oh, okay, please, you need IELTS 5 on this one. Please, study IELTS and come back to us. And then we copy this one, because they are pretty much not, if the client's not eligible, they are either this way or not way eligible. And we don't need to draft everything, so different. They are not eligible. The result is the same, not eligible. If they are eligible, we just qualify them. So the action will be the same. We'll qualify them. Hey, you are qualified. Do you want to pay or not? So eligibility check at this stage, we will need to quickly identify whether the client is eligible using this one. So it can be used as your reference or client reference. So you have a qualification to do the current job qualification, which means the current job, for example, as a care, or that qualification you obtain, it's related to your current job. So the other person whose name is Renaud, he's kind of very confusing. Like he did the kind of training, he did that, and currently he's doing self-employed, and he hasn't got any fundings for that one. So it's therefore he's not eligible for. It's not eligible, let's say, for work type of visa. Unless something like he could obtain from someone else, someone gave him a job offer, that will be different. And then we can twist around. But current situation, I can't qualify this kind of client because their qualification, it's not related to the current one. Current one is really important. And current one, what we meant current one, it's last 3 years. So current qualification has to be really related to current work. It's not related. They cannot approve for that type of visa. The department will refuse it. So, and then we then check this. The occupation is on the occupation list, and that occupation is different. I actually sent. So save this as a link. So let me go through this one. I'll show you this one now. So this is a legislation, and don't feel intimidated about this one, because what's going on? Let me have a look. Federal. Okay, so good. Just this is legislation. Don't feel intimidated about this, because all you need to do is search. You search bar, Control F, then you say the client is. I don't think you're able to see this. Okay. Search carpenter. See, we just find out, oh, this client is on the occupation list. Then you say, okay, kind of meet this requirement. So use this as your checklist. Do you have a qualified? Yes. Do you have occupation it's in that list? Yes. Do you have English on each band? No. Oh, then we'll say this. You meet this requirement. Unfortunately, you need to work on your IELTS. Do you meet an employment reference? Yes. Do you have minimum 3 years experience? Yes. Do you have a job offer? You don't. At this stage, we will say, because you don't have a job offer, therefore, we will assess ability of finding a job for you. Or that will be a job hunting. That is no guarantee, but because it depends on the quality of your documents and whether your occupation is highly demanded in Australia. Right? So this is one type of work visa. Someone who come to you, say, I have work, I want to work in Australia. This is a checklist we'll be using to identify the clients. If the client not even meet any of that, then we cannot qualify them. But this one will be if a client say they are not qualified, but at least we can provide this information to them. So we just basically copy and paste this whole thing. Yeah. And then this is general information and advice. And below you can say advice. I advise you that you need to obtain Australian company a job offer, and you need this, you need that. Okay. So this one type of visa, which is a work visa. The second type is the skill. So meaning that person is highly skilled in that given occupation. So first thing, of course, you need to find out. Again, that's another occupation list, and that's so different to our work type of one. Might be not a huge difference, but because they have a different occupation list. So this is occupation list. On this is statutory, so this is legislation. Now we say engineer. Okay, engineer, it's we have so many occupations, different structure. So okay, so if that client's on occupation, you kind of think, oh wow, I think that client is eligible for something, right? And let me go back to this one, and then we go on to assess whether you can have IELTS 6. Now they have to have everything ready before we can proceed, but we then tell them, oh, you haven't got IELTS 6, please sit your IELTS exam and come back. Then we, of course, we need to do that point system. A point system is in in here, in my letter of advice. Yes, letter of advice. Sorry, it's not in it's in skilled questionnaire. Okay. I use this one as a skill, and also in that letter of advice that you have a link which you can do calculation, and you just tick 189 here and say how many points they can obtain. If they can't obtain, they say they obtain 60, therefore they lack 5 points, right? In that case, you say, oh wow, I think we will explore more. If someone who can just obtain 40, that's too far, you can't work anything. But if they obtain about 60 or 55, then they can work to improve their profile by working hard on getting IELTS. If they can obtain IELTS 7, then they will be awarded for additional 10 points. If their skilled partner can obtain IELTS 6 on each band, then they will be awarded another 5 points. So if the client is really close to 65, 55, 60, then we can work something. If the client it's like 50, it's too far away from that, then we really can't do anything. But here, when you send information to, I have to have information first. Because you kind of send some raw the materials not organized, and it's quite messy, and I have to spend a lot of time. In particular, lots of them are not legible. So we also ask them, hey, do you have a reference letter? And then it's your qualification related. So really simple one. If you study engineering, then your occupation has to be engineer. If your occupation is IT guy, then it's not relevant. It's totally not relevant. They could not obtain a positive skill assessment. Now, the questionnaire for business visa, we have a few business visas, and which is A, B, C, 188C, and 188B, and 132. And this is a requirement again. For A, B, and 132, they have to under 55, and the turnover for each one is so different. Okay, so you use the checklist, and A and B, they have a point system. Others, they don't have a point system, which you just use that calculator to do the points texting. And another advice on that one, let me send you, just for, oh, it's not net advice, is it? This is okay. Then this, and so now, so the first stage we will need to do is we send them this one. Okay, questionnaire first. Yeah, questionnaire first. Once the questionnaire is sent, we use this one as our checklist to identify whether they are meeting the second requirement. If they don't meeting a requirement, we tell them why they don't. Okay, so that is the procedure. First, that it's a need. Someone contact us. Okay, so someone contact us. We ask them to do something. We send them a questionnaire, ask them to complete. Now, after we obtain questionnaire, we need to do assessment. We need to find out whether this client, it's absolutely no chance to get anything. We just tell them you can't obtain anything. The second one is the clients, it's not clearly eligible. It's not 100% eligible, but they can work to improve their profile. And then we need to give them letter advice for this one. We say, I think you you fall in our criteria of 482 work visa, but you need to work in order to get your IELTS. You need to pull everything together. You need to provide more supporting documents, and we will help you to do that. And third client, it's, well, when we check the qualification, when we check that, we say, hey, 100% for skill migration, look, their occupation is on the list. They already got IELTS 6 on each band, and they have, I did the point calculation, they have 65 points, and they can obtain employment reference letters, and their qualification is highly related to their occupation, and they are under 45. Ben, this is your client. At this moment, that person is your client. Now you close the client. This stage, you close, go on to tell them. And at this stage, only at this stage, I step in. If you can't close, I step in. Because we are actually wasting time on first and second clients. They're not eligible, can't get anything. And second one, just they need a lot of work. But the ultimate goal for them, it's not for us to tell them you're not eligible. The ultimate goal for us and for them is obtain Australian visa. Depends on what type of stream, temporary or permanent. We need to obtain that visa for them. If we can't, we do not keep them in our box. We just can't, right? So we cannot stuck in the first stage of assessment. We need to go for every client. We have a lot of clients prospect. They are not within that qualification or whatever, just the requirement. We need to think about our channel might need to address what's going on, the age problem, or what kind of where they are. We have to go to the community, because I have business clients who approach me. Simply they watch something on, say, Swimming on Wow, and they follow up me with, if we have WeChat. We have to think about, we have to position ourselves. Otherwise, we can't. We will stuck here. And we stuck here, then, we are not motivated. We're not getting result. First important way is we need to get visa proof. Then we tell the client, oh, look, I've got the person. We have to have a one benchmark. We have to, for example, if I can get a visa for Pasay, then Ben, lots of similar situations, they come to us. Now, okay, so I'll go back to the question for the business type of visas. Yeah, and we use questionnaire. The clients, they tell you, they send you a bunch of documents. Say, I'm a business owner. I am what. We send a questionnaire. After send a questionnaire, you also so the questionnaire in this one is sorry, where is it? Okay, so the questionnaire here. Okay, the business questionnaire. Then here we ask them about the business, about this and that, and they send that back to me. Then here we now need to identify whether we can get them something. Business type of visas, it's different. They either eligible or not. So that's no room to work, because business has been running for a few years, and if they make a lot of money, then they're eligible. If they haven't made a lot of money, then they are not. So you cannot work. Unlike a work type visa, you can't do anything. So we give them an eligibility check. We ask them to give out questionnaires. All right, send out questionnaire before they send us documents, because it's really, although they want to send out documents, but just tell us the story. Once they have this, and we do the point table, which is underneath here, we do the point 8, that client's 65, and then we use this one to identify, what is the requirement for this one? We use this one as checklist. Now, if the client's not eligible or something, but they are kind of out, ruling out the system. So business visa, we have either the person is very successful, right? They have been running for at least 4 years. This minimum requirement 4 years. That turnover is about 500K. They are successful, and more than that, some other requirements even heavier. 132, it's 1888B, it's 1.5 million investment, and 188C is 5 million, and 132 it's 3 million turnover. I forgot to put on. Okay, sorry. The personal asset has to be personal asset. It's more than 1.5. Okay, so personal asset. So if they are not falling in this software, they are not eligible. That's it. Unless they have some brilliant ideas, someone who is really innovative. But for that type of clients, they have to be under 55. They can't be someone who's fall out. Australia, they just use the point system. If they are 4 out of 55, 56, there's limited chance. Unless, of course, we have a waiver. They are extremely rich, then it's no problem. Everything can be waived. If they are really rich, they're more than 2 times of the requirement, then that's a waiver clause for them. If they are not that extremely rich, then we need a benchmark for business visa. It's 55. Benchmark for skill migration is 45. Benchmark for SISA, SISA, it's 45. Benchmark for work visa, we have a waiver clause as well, but they have to be really experienced, 10 years experience. So age can be a problem, but if they are really good, then options, a lot of options for them. And I even list down the each department fee here. So department fee, I said this is training. How much is training? So this government fee, and I list out this, and our fee here. Okay, processing time, processing time. This type of visa, and I even list out the stage, each stage, what you need to do. And this is different fee, immigration fee to the different type of visa. 188, this is that. B and C, and they're different. So processing time for this one, it's 1 year to 2 years. From the time we lodge the visa. Okay, so skill migration, again, here I just list out what is the requirement we need to do. First stage is we need to obtain skill assessment. They have to be highly related, qualification experience, highly related. They have to have an IELTS 6, of course, on each band. 6 on band to apply. We need to have that stage, get ready for that stage first, and then I list out experience or interest at second stage, third stage, and fourth stage. So this part of skill migration, the second stage, it's really, really hard, because they only pick someone who has a higher score on the pool, and only this type of person will be invited. Okay, and I also list out the professional immigration fee for this, and our professional fee as well. So this is our professional fee. Okay, so other visas really related to type of other visas. If you have visas, we did entrepreneur visas. Okay, so I probably entrepreneur visas here. And these are question Q&A. Okay, and business innovation 188. Yeah. Okay, so marriage type of visa, partner visa, family visas, graduate visa, and student visas. I think that's everything I have put in here. I can see most of the clients, they are come here to get a work, but it's not easy to get that because it takes a really long time. And we can't stuck in here just saying, I'm going to get your job. That's impossible. We can't say that unless they are very good. And then the occupation is very good. Okay. In summary, the first step we will need to do is the client approaches us. We send them a questionnaire and ask them to give out the questionnaire, documents. So they probably don't need to. So for skill and work type of visa, CV is really important. CV is important. For business visa, we want to check financial statements. So for work visa and skill visa, CV plus a questionnaire. That's one thing I only want from clients. When to ask, when they say I want to work, I'm a kind of skilled person, send a questionnaire and a CV. Yeah, here I indicate you have to have a CV. Okay, and for business type of visas, I say, can you provide your financial statement? So yeah, okay. So again, so business visas, we ask them a questionnaire. Okay, give them a questionnaire, And we ask them, can you provide your question financial statement? That's really important. They have to provide this to us. If they say they have taken English exam, just give us the result. God, they said yes, but yes, this kind of question. If they say I have taken English exam, what is the score, right? If they say, can you provide financial statement? If they say yes, then please provide us statements, right? For work type of visas here, skilled as well. So we ask them, can you provide a CV? Can you provide a CV? Yeah. We have to provide us a CV. Okay. Are you able to provide a reference letter? If they have to submit that to us. Okay. So we, for all the clients, we just send them a questionnaire and ask them to provide the information that's listed in the questionnaire. Then after we got information from the clients, and we use this letter of advice we use a reference to do the first primary checking. And if they are not eligible, really can't get them anything, we use this one to gather information and